Hello and welcome back to the Southern Bourbon and Whiskey Talk channel. This is Chris, and today I'm going to be doing something I've been excited to share with my all my viewers out there, and that's to talk about infinity bottles, what they are, and kind of what I do with them and everything. But before we do that, I want to send a special welcome out to all my subscribers, my returning viewers. I really appreciate you. If you are a returning viewer and you have not subscribed to my channel, shame on you. No, I'm playing with you. But hey, if you're coming out here checking out the content, take the time to subscribe and everything. Smash that alert button, and that way you get notifications when I do post new content. New viewers, hey, I welcome you and I appreciate your support, and welcome to the community. Watch the video, kind of tell me what you think about it, and if you like what you see, subscribe to the channel, smash that alert button, go out and check out my other content, and most importantly, spread the word to your friends out there, your bourbon whiskey friends. We're trying to build this channel and community and everything. But that takes word of mouth from every one of you. So thank you for that. All right, so infinity bottle. So everybody has different meanings on infinity bottles. If you watch other YouTube bourbon channels, what have you, they do different things with it. I've seen people, heard of people taking like their last little bit that's left in their bottles, and they'll pour it into their infinity bottle. I've seen people that will go and they'll make their own unique blend. They won't just do the last little bit of a bottle or the first pour. They'll just mix something until they get a taste profile or flavor profile that they like. All right. But what I do is, first off, this is my infinity bottle, my fancy infinity bottle. My wonderful wife Angela bought me this for Christmas. University of Tennessee, very nice decanter, and so I pour all of my whiskey bourbons in here, and I call this my infinity bottle. And if you remember from when I was early on in the channel, those of you that watched my other videos, I was pouring into a mason jar and everything. So I've kind of stepped it up a little bit and what have you. I'm still not opposed to going back to that if I get this filled up and need to start a new one. So and what have you. But what I do with my infinity bottle, a few things, is when I get a new bottle of bourbon whiskey, and I pop it, and my neck pour. Y'all all know what a neck pour is. It's that first ounce and a half, 2 ounces in there. I'll pour it into my infinity bottle right here, right? So I'll pour it in there and go from there. Now, there's also, I track what I pour into my infinity bottle. There's an app out there. So the app is called Infinity Bottle. So if you go out there and I'm trying to think what all the app stores are, like Google Play or your Apple App Store, and just search for Infinity Bottle. It'll come up and everything. Download it, and it's a very neat app. And you'll want to start off by inputting your inventory of the bottles that you have. Whatever that is, and then start your infinity bottle, and I'll show you real quick. That's mine. It's called the Southern Bourbon and Whiskey Talk Infinity, and that's I use that as the basis. And I've made 27 additions to my Infinity bottle. I poured out of it twice. This is my second pour out of here, and you can see it's down a little bit. So this is my second pour. And every time I add something to it, I'll go into that Infinity bottle, click on it, and click on add. And then I'll choose the whiskey or the bourbon bottle that I'm going to pour into the Infinity, how much I'm pouring, and then there you go. And then anytime I pour, like here, I got a 2-ounce pour. I've sipped a little bit of it, just to sneak a tasty of it. But so I record that, and it keeps up with how much approximately you have in your bottle. It also will keep up with the proof on the Infinity bottle. Like I'll show you, mine right now is, if you can see it, let's see here, 104.2 proof. That's the proof level of my Infinity bottle. It keeps up with it, a good running track and what have you. Okay. There's also a paid version of that Infinity bottle app, and I don't know how much it is, what have you. It goes in more detail where you can keep up with the mash bill of all your bottles, and then therefore the mash bill of the Infinity bottle. So that is pretty neat and everything, but I'm not paying for that. So, but it's cool enough that I know what's in here, and the proof level of it and everything. So that is pretty neat. Okay, but that's what I do with my Infinity bottle. The nice thing about Infinity bottles is it's unique. It's your mixture. Nobody else has something like this. It's a one of a kind. And you can do a lot of cool things with it. I mean, it's nice. This is my second pour out of here. So you can have a pour out of it just to enjoy. You can share it with friends when they come over. You can give them away as samples. You can give some of it away as Christmas gifts, whatever you want to do. So there's a lot of neat little things that you can do with your Infinity bottle. Okay. So, and then again, every time I get a new bottle of bourbon or whiskey, I'll take a ounce and a half. That's just me. Some people do 2 ounces. I do an ounce and a half, and I put it in here and record it on my Infinity bottle app. All right, so let's get into what we have in mind and talk through it. So, again, this is unique. So don't try to go out to your Total Wine and More and ask for the Southern Bourbon and Whiskey Talk bottle and what have you. So, all right. So, cheers, my friends. All right. So, just a light ethanol on it. Not a lot there. I definitely get the rye, the citrus, the white pepper, and there's obviously a decent amount of rye whiskeys in here, or high rye bourbons in here, if you would. Not a lot of like traditional bourbon whiskey sweetness there, like brown sugars and honey. So I get more some vanilla, like vanilla bean, like a bread, bacon spices. Like when I say bacon bread, like if you've ever smelled like a good loaf of bread, bacon in the oven, that's kind of what I get off of it, and some really light sugar cookie there. So, but yeah, it smells good. So let's get into it. Yeah. So a little alcohol punch on that. Not a lot of Kentucky Hug. Good mouthfeel. definitely citrus forward, no doubt. That comes from some of the rye in there. And there's some more sweetness that's blending in there, some more heavy vanilla, molasses, and what have you. Um, I wouldn't rate this in my top 10, of all time or anything, but it's, unique. It is nice. I mean, it's good. Um, yeah, and matter of fact, I'm curious how much rye do I have in here, and I'll kind of tell you. Let's see here. Chattanooga whiskey malted rye, but that's not like a traditional rye. It's more sweet and chocolate than a traditional rye. Bullet 95 rye, now that is very citrus forward, like a lemon zest and everything. 1792 small batch, that's a high rye bourbon. Let's see here. I have some Weeders in here as well. Weller, Maker's Mark, Larceny. Willet's a rye. That's in here. Sazerac's in here. It's a rye. Midwinter's Night Drown. That's more. It's a high rye blended, but it's not a traditional rye. If you know what I mean. Let's see here. What else do we have in here? Rye. Four Roses Small Batch Select. Four Roses is usually a higher rye bourbon. And then let's see. And I've got 1792 small batch again in here. So yeah, I mean, there's some definitely rye in there, and I definitely get a citrus presence. And you wouldn't think a ounce and a half pour of, say, a Bullet rye would do a lot to that bottle, but it does, and everything. But I like it. I'm a rye fan, and I enjoy it. I enjoy Bullet rye, so I can definitely tell the presence of that Bullet in there. Now, and keep in mind, the more you add and take away from your Infinity bottle, it's going to change the flavor profile and the nose on it and everything. So, the next bottle or bottles that I open will change what this is. It'll change the proof on it. It'll change the nose, flavor, everything. All right. So that's what makes these Infinity bottles neat and what have you. So, all right, with that, I'm going to shut this down. Again, all my returning viewers, thank you. Appreciate you. New viewers, I really appreciate you coming out, checking out that content. Subscribe, tell your friends. Let's build this community. And I appreciate all your support. Until next time, cheers. Be safe out there. Take care of each other and good health.